Well, I just had to come on here and just for the acknowledgement of the fact that to say that I am getting the creepy effect. Okay, they say it can be a mental illness and you should go see a therapist or doctor. If you start thinking that the movies, television, social media is directly talking about what you're doing in the moment and is specifically aimed at what you're doing. That's known as ideas of reference. Okay, yeah, I've been experiencing that a whole lot. And almost to the point where it seems like they bust themselves out on it. And I'm like, what is going on? This is not disclosed, and they claim that that can't happen and isn't allowed to happen. Okay, they explain it's pre recorded, it's hard coded. And then they go into the ambiguity of, oh, it can technically be altered with soft coded and direct insertion. And there are things like autonomous AI and mind captioning and Wi-Fi sensory, but there's laws about that stuff, and also things like the Wiretap Acts, which are guarded by the FTC and the CFAA. So that's not possible. And then I started thinking, maybe I'm getting computer hacked, and they've broken the cipher in through encryption, decryption, and such, and are manipulating my software with algorithms of AI introduced in, and but again, I look it up on the internet, and they say that's not possible. That you know. But you could be getting. They're ambiguous, but they say it's basically they debunk it. But there are things known like computer hacking and device trespassers and interception. What's known? The original source, the CDN, the ISP, to the by means of satellite or cables to your home, and then through the modem and router to your devices and Wi-Fi. And they say, the CDN and the ISP are not allowed to manipulate those original hard coded programs and such. But I still, to this day, get the creepy effect. I got into it, looked it up, and it said, there's things called hyper personalization, and then ACR, and I started wondering, what if people are manipulating or con hustle computer hacking the hyper personalization and ACR, and then they're framing me or something. But I have no proof, and it's not disclosed. It's all, if it was actually happening, that's all concealed. But concealment's illegal, and with the FTC and AF or CFAA, they state things like explicit consent cannot be buried in large amount of data. That doesn't count as explicit consent. And now look up the websites, and they don't even give explicit consent permissions. And it states if they did have explicit permissions, there has to be a way for you to deny those permissions. Okay, but I'm still getting the creepy effect. And then I started noticing when I'm doing my own recordings, I'm getting the creepy effect by myself. I'm like, how is that even possible? I remember saying exactly that. I'm the one who did the recording. How am I getting the creepy effect of ideas of reference on myself? I honestly don't know what's going on. Maybe it's propaganda and the creepy effect